Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to talk about self-deprecation. We're going to talk about social media, calling people unattractive or quote unquote ugly. We're going to talk about power, competition, wanting to keep someone insecure, how you benefit from that. There is a viral video that is going around. I'm sure you guys have seen it, where a young lady is calling herself ugly. And it hit me in a couple of different spaces, and I don't really know why. I don't know why, but I want to talk about that today. It's going to trigger a lot of you individuals. I know a lot of my videos trigger you guys. We do talk about looks. We talk about body. I post shorts of, my outfit of the day. Sometimes I'm in my workout attire. I just did a short with me with the tape measure out, measuring myself. Those are all really triggering. Hair, complexion, body, all of those things, particularly in the Black community. For some reason, it is very sensitive territory. Today, I want to talk about the word ugly. And, this kind of came about at the perfect timing, because I think this video was maybe a couple of months ago, but somebody posted it and I reacted to it in a way that was unexpected. And I thought about this topic because I was just talking to a relative, and I was using the word. I was using the word ugly. And so today we're just going to open up, talk about that. If you guys dare to come into the comments honestly, which I, always encourage you to, how do we eradicate, and this is the question, this is what I want the solution to at the end of this video. How do we eradicate this whole entire belittling or trying to keep someone on a level below? And it's all psychological. It's mental. Like, it's not even real. It's literally not even real. None of this. How do we eradicate it? How do we eradicate it without creating 50 different channels of people arguing about stupid shit? Okay. That is the question. That is the question. What is the solution to this? No Makeup Needed is a beauty and lifestyle channel where I give you guys tips and tricks on how to be your most fabulous self. Hopefully inspiring you to embrace your natural beauty without filters, fillers, Photoshop, and of course, makeup.
The only person in the world that said that I was beautiful was my mother. I'll never forget it. I was young. And she said, I know y'all think my daughter's ugly, but my daughter is beautiful. I get inboxes from black men says I'm ugly for a black woman. I was with a woman for 14 years. Tell her every day she was beautiful. She never said once I was beautiful. Not even my dad. My dad said I look nice. So I come to accept the fact that I'm ugly, and I never will be beautiful. That's why when the girls talk to me, they don't even like sleeping with me. I mean, I see the look on their faces. Even when I try to walk up to them, they'll give me this look. I know I'm ugly. I accept the fact that I guarantee you won't date nobody like me. You like those pretty studs, pretty lips. I get that. I'm ugly, and I accept that. So I'm not gonna lie and say I'm fabulous, gorgeous. I'm not that. I'm not that. I would never be that. Like I said, the only person in the world that told me I was beautiful is my mother. You guys never said that. And the thing about it is, you guys are lucky. You got people walking to you, damn, you fine. You go, I'll never get that. I'll never get that. I never will. I'm an ugly black woman, and I accept that. Take care.
What did I just watch? And why am I triggered by it? I have no idea. I have no idea what the hell I just saw. And why there's a mixture of emotions. It gets me a little bit pissed off, actually. But also there's something in there that's sad for the young girl in this video who's talking, because she's an adult. She's a grown woman. There's something in there, something that makes me sad for the younger version of her. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. Let me make my head bigger. Let me come in. We're going to talk about a couple of things. Ooh, some of y'all are going to be mad. It's too bad. I trigger people. I trigger people with the right conversations. I bring out a lot of ugly individuals, speaking of the word, that they didn't know they had, right? So I saw this video, somebody had posted it, and I was like, what in the world is this? What is this? Wait. And I know in the past there are a plethora of YouTube videos where people are calling themselves ugly. I don't know why this is different. There's something really different about this one. You know, there's videos of people saying like, I like being ugly, I don't mind being ugly, or I have no friends. Or, there's no shortage of that on YouTube. But this one is a little bit different. Now, remember in one of my videos, I don't know which one, you can go back and watch. Probably in my video, gosh, this one triggered everyone, where I said I dodged colorism as a dark-skinned woman. And I talked about growing up with a very black, proud father who inadvertently really gave me enough self-esteem. I didn't have very high self-esteem growing up, but he gave me enough not to fall into the pits of wanting to change my features, wanting to be fair skinned, he gave enough, whereas that part that I saw in other children who were in the black community, I dodged it. I literally dodged that. It wasn't even on my radar, okay? So when I grew up, looks were never discussed. Not only did my mother or father never call me beautiful like this young lady, and I know it's in a different context, please don't prematurely come into the comments. A lot of people do that. They just, I don't know if they got batteries in their fingers. They just want to jump and talk, okay? Please do not do that. Ow, I just got an itch on my left side. All right. I know it's in a different context. So my parents never talked about looks, not only with me, but with none of the children. There were 6 of us. So no one got like, oh, you're beautiful. Like looks were the bottom of the barrel, honey. Nobody was discussing that. There was no, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. Never. And I, as an adult, I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate the fact that I got to focus on other things. And because there were 3 boys, 3 girls in my family, you know, I believe that would have caused some sort of competition or some sort of, you know, a lot of you guys, you know, you have in your family, oh, she's the pretty sister, blah, blah. Like we never had any of that ever. There was never any conversation about looks ever. So I never got that either. But unlike this young lady, when I went out into the world, I didn't get the opposition either. Okay, so it makes a difference. I was never called ugly at school. I was never picked fun of by the boys. I was like, that didn't happen to me. So clearly that gave a story, that told a story that was very significant, that I didn't fall in that category. And I've seen it done. I've seen people call others ugly. I've seen them make fun of somebody else's features. And I didn't get that. So even though my parents never talked about our looks, other people did. And I was not included in the conversation that was negative or belittling, okay? I talk about in that video that everything was just right, I guess. Just the right nose size, just the right lips, or whatever it was to fall through them cracks. That was me, okay? I'm concerned with the word ugly. And interesting enough, I only use that word when it comes to men, which clearly I need to eradicate. Clearly I need to eradicate. So I don't come on YouTube pretending I'm like perfect and pretending that I got it all figured out. A lot of things on this channel, you guys have helped me figure it out. And I'm like, oh, is that what it is? Oh, really? You know? And so, you know, as I'm seeing certain content circulate, I'm like, well, maybe I need to have that conversation with myself, because I am solution oriented, but I'm not only solution oriented, I am somebody who likes to evolve. So I like self confrontation, like, oh, well, you've been using that word all weekend. So this past weekend, I'm going to tell you which, in the context of which I use the word ugly. I never really in my life used the word ugly as far as physical features is concerned. Okay. But I do, oh, okay, so this gets a little tricky. I'm going to tell you how I use this in a context. But when I hear someone say ugly, because I call people ugly in terms of their aura, like, you are such an ugly person, that means that you are disloyal, you are a backstabber, you are the bottom of the pit. Like, you've done some very ugly, disgusting, shameful things. And that is the context of which I use it 90% of the time. Now, the other 10%, which can be problematic too, I remember this weekend I was at my parents' and we were talking about men, and that comes up a lot because I'm working on a documentary. And I said that I never dated good-looking men. And I like the ugly ones. I said I love the ugly ones. And maybe I need to tweak that and stop using that terminology when it comes to physical features, because I don't use that when it comes to women. If I use that when it comes to women, it has to do with her personality. Like, she's ugly as hell. She has an ugly spirit. But when it comes to men, I use that physically. And when I use that, I mean, I have never dated anybody who was into their looks. If you're in the mirror more than me, that is feminine to me. That is unattractive to me. These people, individuals called pretty boys. I don't know if they still use that term. They did a lot when I was growing up. Not interested at all. Not interested. There is something different, and we'll talk about this as we go along, with dating as a woman, dating someone very, and we'll use the word unattractive from now on instead of ugly. Ugly is from the spirit, from the inside out. So I misused that word, I guess, this weekend when I was saying I like ugly mix. I really don't. Ugly is your whole aura. I will say I have always dated unattractive men. Okay. Unattractive. Okay. So this young lady was never called good looking, not even by her parent, maybe just mom. And that affected her in a certain way. Now, growing up in a Black community, I will say it was more than her physical features, because she looks fine to me. When I watched the video, I was like, what am I, like, this is why I got confused, because I was like, what am I watching? Like, her skin is fabulous, first of all. Beautiful locks. Now, she's on camera how she's on camera. It's not like, I don't think she's going out to, a big event looking like that. She just got her hat on backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like how I'll be looking when I'm about to go exercise and stuff like that. Although I do be wearing earrings. Okay, so there's a difference. So she is a little more androgynous, and she calls herself stud, which I'm not part of the LGBTQ plus community. So let me know in the comments what that means, because somebody called me that actually on YouTube when I showed them a photograph of me. And I did post it in one of my videos because I remember I got casted. They wanted a boy and I looked androgynous enough, and they were like, oh, I kind of changed their mind. So I got the job, which was fabulous. And so somebody called me a stud. So I don't know if stud actually means you look kind of like a tomboy or you look androgynous, or it has a different meaning. Now, I'm asking you to correct me in the comments, because I don't want to look like a clown on YouTube because I'm not part of the community and just use terminologies incorrectly. Tell me what a stud is in what a stud is in, like, do I look like a stud now? Like if I took my earrings off, do I look like a stud now because I have on like a wife beater and like what, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so she's on camera right now with the hat on backwards and you know what I'm saying? So it's not like she's looking her best. I'm sure she's not going out for drinks, taking the girlfriend out and stuff looking like that. I'm sure she's fly, you know what I'm saying, with whatever outfit she's wearing and stuff like that on. So maybe it's possible. And I don't know what she didn't post any of the, or I didn't see it actually. She in this video, she didn't put the captions of like what people were DMing her. And gosh, I'm trying to be organized with my thoughts here. Number one, I don't see her as unattractive. And I know what people mean when they say unattractive. I do. Let's not pretend that we don't know what that means when we see somebody and we're like, you know what I'm saying? According to their features. I don't see anything wrong with this young lady at all. Now, are they saying she's ugly because of what she has on? You know what I'm saying? I don't look the same in every single video. So what? Come for me in the comment section. I don't see anything wrong with her, period. Now let's talk about men because they love to crawl into my comment section when they get upset with me when I talk about the manosphere, when I talk about incels, when I talk down to their leader who is deceased and they're still up his ass, right? They love to come to my comment section and throw little jabs, honey. And it doesn't affect me because my life path is different than this young lady's. And I know I'm calling her a young lady because I know she's younger than I am. My life path is different. So a man who loves to dominate because they know that a woman's looks are her currency. They know that, you know, whether you want to admit it or not, if you're a woman watching, most of my audience is women, but looks are very important. They're very important in getting what you want in life, whether that is a partner, whether that is a job, whether that is even friends. A lot of people base their friends on aesthetics. It will open doors for you. It will get you a lot of things, okay? It will. And depending on what space you're in, some spaces will allow you to get more than others. Some spaces will allow you to get more attention than others, more opportunity than others. So it just depends, right? And so you have men who, particularly now, this is in real life. I've yet to see this, not that much in real life, a lot on social media. Now, I told you guys how many years ago there was a man in my life who told me he wanted to put a, did he say a paper bag? A garbage bag. I believe it was a garbage bag, like a black garbage bag over my head so nobody would look at me. So there was a threat there with my looks. Like, I want to diminish your looks so that you don't have any other value or worth. And I think when men come into women's spaces, she is still a woman, whether she is, you know, a little bit more on the androgynous side or the masculine side. She's still a woman. She has a vagina, she has ovaries and all the lady parts that we're born with. So, you know, they love to come into our space and try to diminish. They go for the looks because that's what they're most attracted to, and that's what they judge women by. They put all our value, any value that they have for us, on our physicality. They do. And so if they can pull that down and say, you're ugly, you're not enough, you don't look like this, you're not a baddie, you're a 5, you're a 4, and all these silly little kindergarten games that they play, then that will diminish your self-esteem, and then you're a puppet to them. Like, well, what can I do to get this? And what can I do to do that? And then they're in the power seat, okay? And so what I believe happened was, and she didn't show the commentary, I've had this a couple of times in these YouTube streets, men try and tell me I'm a this, I'm a that. Honey, you can't tell me what I am. You, like, literally, like, At almost 49 years old, I'm not the puppet to any man. To any man. Not the one I have, not damn sure not anybody on in these comment streets. You cannot break decades of how I've built myself up. Like, you can't do it. You can't just walk in and be like, you're ugly. Yeah, okay. Like, okay, like that. Great. That's what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Most likely you don't even believe that. You're just trying to throw jabs. They're just trying to throw jabs at this woman for some reason or another, you know, and taking the time out to go into her private like DMs and be like, you're so unattractive. Like, what would be the purpose of that? What would that accomplish on your end? Like, what? And if you guys do it too, maybe you're on social media. A lot of you are on social media and you're in the comment section telling somebody they're average at best, they're a 4 or they're a 5. You got your calculator out trying to come with some equation. You're telling them they're delusional. That's the new word of like, literally that word came out of nowhere. And all the little kids are using it. In fact, the kids can't even finish the sentence. They can't even finish the word. They're like, you're delulu. I'm like, you sound fucking ridiculous right now. You can't even say the whole word. You got to chop it up and make, like, all the little kids are using that phrase now. It is so embarrassing. And so they love to come in and call you delusional, or call you this or call you that, just as some sort of shrinkage. And I think my heart hurt for her younger self who, you know, it does something to you if you're a little girl. She said she was a little girl and right in front of her, you know, people, her mom had to defend her and say, I know you think my daughter's ugly, but she's beautiful. And I don't know as a mom if I would have handled it that way. Probably not. But that broke her spirit in a way. And she talks about being with somebody for 14 years who every single day she was like, you know, telling them they're beautiful. She never got a response back. I couldn't even imagine. I mean, we've all had some sort of, it doesn't even have to be an intimate relationship. Maybe your mom did it. Maybe your dad did it. Maybe your siblings did it. Maybe they taunted you. Maybe they said some things. You know, I think of a lot of things that like my siblings used to say to me that kind of stuck for a long time. And you know what I mean? Like when you're young and you're impressionable and you're susceptible to a lot of manipulation because you're a little kid and you don't know any better. And these are people around you who are supposed to protect you and help build you up, and they do the opposite. So my heart hurts for that little girl in her who, no matter what people are saying, you know, they're in the comments telling her she's beautiful. Like, is that the answer though? Is that the solution? And that little girl in there who spends 14 years with a woman who she showers with attention every single day, and think about how she chooses what those women look like that she chooses. She said in her commentary, I know I'm ugly. I know that, you know, women don't even want to sleep with me. I see the looks on their faces. I know you want and she cut herself off. I was listening. I know you want one of them pretty. And then she started to say light skin. Don't think I didn't hear that part. I think all of that is included in her believing that she's ugly, you know, as a dark-skinned woman who like is not switching down the street in the tight heels. You know, she probably, you know, wears masculine clothes and things like that. And she can get her teeth fixed. She mentioned her teeth. Like, are you kidding me? I had braces twice, honey. What? I mean, you know, and she mentioned, what did she say? Gap tooth. Like, I originally have a gap. Me and one of my other brothers, we are the only ones with little gaps. And I had to get braces as a kid and they closed it up. So I would have a gap in my mouth if I had my original settings. But honey, you can get some braces. Like, you can fix a lot of these things people complain about as far as their features are concerned. You can fix that. I talk about that all the time. Honey, get some braces, a couple of $1,000, $5,000. Invisalign costs $5,000. There you go. In about a year and a half, depending on what your situation is, honey, Hollywood looking teeth, easy. Oh, you're overweight? You can get on the program. Next year you'll be in your little skimpy bikini running on the beach. Like these are things you can fix. You can fix acne, you can fix. These are things that are manageable. Those things don't make you ugly because you have a gap in your teeth, or you have crooked teeth even, or you have acne on your face, or you are a little bit overweight than you were last year. All of that can be handled. Okay? Now, this woman probably has a lot of mirror work to do, and maybe she'll get therapy. People on the internet are coming batting for her, and I'm happy they are. But is that the solution? Saying, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful, blah, 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 blah. Because a lot of times, people will say that, but when they're in their little private spaces, honey, and it's depending on the circumstance, they will come and call you ugly too. Remember when I talked about, I talk about this in all my books, gosh. Remember when I talked about when I had a friend in 8th grade and we had a falling out? And I've always been a really eccentric person. Like, I've shown you guys photos of me growing up and stuff like that. Especially like with my fashion, I've always worn like checkered with zebra shoes, and like I've always been very eccentric, and I love eccentric. I don't like the basic looking, like when somebody's like, oh, she's so pretty, and it's like some basic shit, like I can't even look. Like, I love androgynous. I love eccentric. I love people who have like such a different vibe. Like, they don't fit into a little box. They don't fit it. People don't know where to place them. Like, is she not? Like, I love that confusion on people's face. Like, I'm trying to get the vibe here, and they can't really, it doesn't click for them. I love that. I love that. And when we had a falling out, she was like, oh, and she told a mutual friend, oh, that's why her outfit is ugly. But like, before the falling out, my outfit was cute. This is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of you guys will wait to use the word ugly and this is how you really feel. It's how you really feel, because when you're angry, there's something about there's something, and if you're a psychologist or psychiatrist, please put it in the comments and put the term. But there's something like, you don't lie. Like, you can't lie when you're angry. Like, everything comes out. So how you really feel about somebody. Oh, you fat bitch. Oh, wow, I'm fat now. Oh, you ugly. That's why you ugly. Wow. Or like the friend I had in high school, when she got mad, she was like, that's why you black. And I was like, so are you. So she had no rebuttal. But I think in the back of her mind, because she was very fair skinned, she thought that was like a diss. Like, and she forgot who she was talking to. She forgot she was talking to the dark skinned girl with the black proud father, who, honey, we never had a problem with this. Never. So she felt stupid. It was like, oh, fuck, wrong girl. Yeah, wrong girl. So is that the solution for people to be coming under the comments and, girl, you beautiful, you this, you that? Like, you cannot erase a lifetime of pain of someone being called ugly their whole entire lives. And, being compared to this one and that one, and your own parents doing that to you as well, with a few comments under the video saying, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Like, do you really think she's beautiful though? Like, would you date her? She keeps talking about all these women who are disgusted. Like, I can't find it. I'm sorry. That's why I was confused in the beginning. I was like, wait, so is it that solution to go into her comments and be like, you're so beautiful, I don't know who told you that, blah, blah, blah. Will you date her? Will you screw her? Are you in her DM saying like, wow, I'm attracted to you, let's go out? You see what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Like, really, behind the scenes. Now, let's talk about how women do this too. Now, I'm a person who subconsciously loves to bring out the real in individuals. This is such a Scorpio trait. I love to bring out the real in people. And they don't even know that I'm doing it. Sometimes I don't even know that I'm doing it, but I trigger them in a way that their subconscious just won't allow them to tell lies. How did this come about? So in a couple of videos, this all came about. In the video that I did when I said I dodge colorism, in the video that I did where I said why do women attack each other, in the video that I did where people were really triggered when I talked about the perm box and how people really like, there was a video of somebody saying like, I can't believe the hair wasn't perm. And for me, it was just it was such an extreme amount for me of like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, did you really believe like little girls were getting all like, I can't even go back to that. Individuals in my commentary, ooh, they came out. They came out and they actually told on themselves. So we were talking about colorism and people were whining about, oh, I had colorism too. People cut my hair. People threw whatever balls at me. People couldn't stand me because I'm fair skinned and blah, 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 blah. And so the more I dug and the more they got vicious, people started to attack me. And that's what I like. I like the moment when the real version of you comes out, when you attack me, when you attack my looks. Just like the men do in this young lady's DMs. They come for her looks. They wanted to bring me back down. Oh, you're a model. Oh, you get paychecks for the looks that I'm trying to attack. Oh, there are like big designers and big companies who actually like cut checks for you to be on their billboards. But I'm so beautiful. I'm supposed to be so much better looking than you that nobody's paying me. I love the moment of that, when that happens, when that clicks. But not only that, let's take it deeper. I like the moment when people come at me, because a lot of people came at me for my hair, and you know what my hair looks like. You know what my hair looks like. They're like, why are you always wearing hats? Why the fuck not? Why can't I wear wraps and look fly? Why not? Do I need my hair to hide my features? Some people do that. Everything is about their hair. And I'm like, wait, pull your hair back or tie it up and let me see what you really look like. Let's look at your eyes and your nose and things like that. I told you guys this story where I grew up with a girl. Her hair was like down to her butt. She had this curly, like super curly hair that you pulled and it was like, bing. And I have no idea why one day she decided to cut it up to here, honey. Oh, biggest mistake of her life, according to all the people at school, because not only did she lose all her friends and people started calling her ugly and everything else, like it was so bad. I was like, oh my gosh. And this is the same thing that happened to Felicity. For those of you who are not old enough, go and Google that TV show. You know, all the hair, when she finally cut it, it lost like millions of views or whatever views just because of her hair. So people started to see, the girl I went to school with, people started to see her real features because the hair was the highlight of her face. And you guys know people like that, who all you see, you don't see their face, you just see their hair. You just see their hair or you just see other things. But when you start looking closer, you're like, wait a minute. And then there becomes the elephant in the room. No one talks about it. It's like, shh. They're like, wait, is she really pretty? Or she just has all this hair. So people started coming to attack me for my hair. They're like, okay, well, I don't really think she's unattractive. So let's not even go for the features. She's really in shape though. The body's real nice. Let's try and go for the hair because, in society, my hair is half straight and it's considered better. So let's try and bring her down by talking about her 4C hair, which we all know that I don't have a problem with my 4C hair, honey. Thank you, Dad. Whew. Whew, my goodness. Every time these conversations come up, and my father's long deceased, but I'm always like, oh my gosh. I know I gave him such trouble for just yapping off at the mouth all the time. Ooh, thank you, goodness. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for all of the yapping 24/7. Because I grew up not being a slave to what other people are trying to come in the comments for, honey. You can talk about 4C all day. You can talk about dark skin all day. You can talk about whatever features I got all day. You cannot hit me in any manner. And so unfortunately for this young lady, she grew up where she was attacked for that. She mentioned dark skin. She mentioned her teeth. She mentioned talking about, she almost went there. She caught herself talking about you like the pretty light studs. I knew that that word was coming right out. I knew complexion was going to be brought up. So she grew up in an environment where people were feeding off of that. Of course, they attacked her like wolves. And, you know, you guys getting into her comment section saying, oh, you're so beautiful, blah, 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 when you really don't mean it, when you really do believe that you are better than her, when you really do believe it, when you really do, okay? Or like people comparing you to someone they find unattractive. Oh, you look just like this person. And that's the elephant in the room. Everybody's quiet. Oh, she's beautiful. But when you get upset, then all your real feelings come out. Oh, that's why you ugly. Oh, you think I'm ugly now. So what is the solution to all this? You know, we talk about that power dynamic. Women do it too. Women do it as equally as men. I really can't understand why men would come into her private conversations, her DMs. She ain't checking for no men. She's obviously dating women. So why are they in her comment section saying you're like, can I help you? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like me when men are like in my comments saying, oh, you're a 6 at best, or I don't know what kind of numbers they come up with. Then they start talking about my body type, and I'm like, my body type is good enough for a paycheck. Who writing your paycheck? You ain't writing no paychecks. That's what. There's a lot of companies I'm getting paychecks for my body type, and if I didn't have my body type, I probably wouldn't be working. I probably wouldn't be. So my ass is not here for your entertainment to attract you out on the street. Other women do it. They get their BBLs, or they so happy they're real thick and this and that so that they can get Jamal on the block. I ain't checking for no fucking Jamal on the block. Thank goodness they're not checking for me. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness they're not checking for me. I get to just walk down the street and they hollering at Keisha. Thank goodness. And I am gone. I get to live in peace with my little hips and all the other stuff I got. Thank goodness. Not checking for you. This young lady is not checking for you she likes women. So I don't understand. But I know that women do it too. I guarantee you that more than half of those commentaries calling her ugly are freaking women who want to feel empowered in some way, like, oh yeah, you're ugly. Let me keep you there. Maybe it lifts them up in some sort of way. Maybe it does. Because when they come into my comment section running their mouths, I'm like, oh, no. That doesn't work here. I don't have low self-esteem. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work on YouTube. It doesn't work out in these streets. I'm out in these streets. I'm not living in a little bubble on social media. I'm out here. I know what people look like. I know what their bodies look like. I know what their features look like. I know how people are taking care of themselves. I know what everything looks like out here. Not filters, not little bots, not people who are on YouTube running their mouths, who don't have their picture. You know, a lot of these people, gosh, oh my goodness. They don't even think that about themselves. They know they don't. They're covered up. They would never come on YouTube. And if they do, there's filters, wigs, and all sorts of shit. Like, they've been prepping for hours, honey. They would never just come on camera like she did. She's bold. She just comes on camera like, look, this is what you get. You know what I'm saying? My spirit hurts for that little girl in there who was told repeatedly that she is ugly. And I'm sure there was some dark skin rhetoric in there. I'm sure they talked about her hair in there, all that stuff in there. And are you one of those women who does that? You know, I have to check myself, I guess, because now that we're talking about a power dynamic, maybe secretly that's something why I deal with quote unquote ugly ass men. They act differently. The ones who think that they're pretty, number one, I think is feminine, is just so ugly, ill. Why are you in the mirror for an hour? Like, what are you trying to do? You know? Do you want to borrow my dress too? Like, stop. But apart from that, that's part of the reason. It's like, no, I don't like feminine. I wasn't raised by a feminine man, like at all. He didn't even wear pink or any of these colors that men that are acceptable now. Nope, blue, black, gray, brown, and that was the ball game. That was the end. Okay, that was the end of it. There was no other. You know what I'm saying? He was very masculine. There was no. Now that I think about it, my father didn't have any feminine energy. Like he wasn't like curling up on the couch and knitting. You know, you see those dads who are kind of, they have a really soft, like woman kind of essence. Well, my father ain't had none of that. It was all male stuff, male conversation, male, all male friends. He didn't have woman friends or anything. Everything was masculine. So, you know, when I look at men, I do kind of try and mimic that, you know, but I have to admit that unattractive ones treat me differently. They do. So where do I stand in that? Where do I stand? Because part of this young lady's issue as well with dating is she's dating women who finds her unattractive because she'll shower them with gifts all day. She'll tell them that they're beautiful. They get a little bit of power from her. They get a little bit of power. They feed off of her self, her lack of self-worth. And that maybe that's another issue that I dislike too. But also, it's probably an issue that I have to change towards men as well. I don't know that I don't attract people with low self-esteem, even if they are unattractive. They're just, oh gosh, let's dive into this because I like to be real. You know what I mean? I don't like to bullshit around. So I'm not out in these streets trying to date everybody. I'm straight in that department, but they're not attractive, okay? Which I'm fine with. I'm fine with that. I like that actually. It takes away from all of that, you know, chemicals, and you're getting all tingly and doing stupid things that you wouldn't do when all that is shut off, when you can just focus and form a real relationship with somebody without the rose-colored glasses, without being like, oh my gosh, I'm so attracted to them. I don't like that feeling at all. That's number one. Number two, there is a little power in that for women, especially because our looks are put to the forefront, unlike men. There is power in a dynamic where the man is far less attractive and attractive to you. It does give you a little bit of an edge. It just does. And that can be biology. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's right. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that in the comments? And, you know, a lot of men ask, like, why is she dating that ugly guy? Honey, that's a lot of the reason why. The dynamic works. It really, really does. It really, really does. When you're the pretty woman and the guy is unattractive, it just works better. It just works better. Find a couple where it's the reverse and they're not telling you what's going on behind the scenes. It does not work. It does not work, okay? And so I'm going to stop calling men ugly unless it pertains to their spirit, which I've met a lot of ugly. Ooh, my goodness. I'm like, I told a man to his face. I was like, you're the ugliest person I ever met. Just so deeply ugly. Just that your insides must just be like, oh my goodness. Like, I don't even want to know what they look like. His personality was disgusting. And, you know, I'm just going to use the word attractive, I guess. I have to get rid of that word ugly. It's terrible. It's terrible. So what is the solution? Let me get out of here. Because now what is the solution to this? And how do you participate? And don't say you don't participate, because I've seen a lot of you guys under my comments, when I trigger you and you try and come in with some shit, I see it and I pay attention to it. And I'm like, that's the real version of you. Oh, so that's what you really believe. You believe you're superior because of what? Because of what? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do about this? How do we eliminate the self-deprecation? How do we eliminate being on social media and being part of the problem, calling people, it's just people on YouTube minding their own business, making videos, and here you come in their DM. You ugly. You fat. Like, who are you? Are you one of those people? Have you done that before? And for what? Like, how does that make you feel? Like, what does it do for you? Does it put you up on a pedestal somehow? Like, does it raise the bar for you? I just want to know. I just want to know what those men, if you're one of those men who are in her DMs talking about you ugly, you're never going to be beautiful, like, what did that do for you? Like, does that raise your beauty? Even for the women who know behind their little cartoon avatars that they don't look the way that they're presenting. They know that they won't. That's why they know they don't look the way they want people to believe. And this is why they won't come on camera. Particularly, they're not going to come on camera like this. They're going to be 4 hours of makeup, some straight wig, and blah, 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 blah. They're going to try and cover. What does that do for you? I want to know all this. If you are bold enough to put it in the comments. Tell me what the solution is. What do we do about stuff like this? Because this is happening, okay? This is happening in the real world. And I do hope that this young lady heals. I do hope so. I really do. I hope she goes to therapy. And I hope she never dates another woman again who is just sitting there silent in the relationship, who there's no reciprocity. I hope she feels good enough not to even deal with them. I hope she feels good enough to not chase them down and be sitting there for 14 years. Goodness. Imagine what that does to you. Wow. And these men who come into women's spaces running your mouths, you know, I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm tired of seeing y'all in the comment sections. You know, you got to talk amongst each other and get it together amongst each other. All right, guys, like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. I'll see you in my next video.